Hello.
Yo, what's up, bro?
What up, dog? You alright?
Yeah. All right, just one
Uh,
question. One
yeah, what's
question,
up?
okay?
What's up?
Wouldn't so many cows like die if we didn't eat them?
They're only dying because we do eat them. I'm confused by the question. Like, when you pay for their flesh, you're paying for them to have their throat slit and be killed.
No, because so many people produce cattle at such a high rate. Like we're not just
Okay,
like
I understand. I see what you're saying. The only
yeah,
reason you're saying that if we stopped eating them, they would die because they'd overpopulate or something like that. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the only reason they're here is because we pay for them to be through basic supply and demand. When you pay for a product, that causes the farmer to supply that product to you. If we weren't paying for the product, farmers wouldn't be artificially breeding them into existence. Farmers artificially inseminate their cattle to produce more and breed them in order to meet meat demand. If we weren't paying for meat, they wouldn't be here.
So
That's
there's
the
no
only reason they're here.
is there no you don't think there's any other reason why they're here? Like they're
No,
not
it's
doing any
literally
other
just
good.
because we pay. The only reason they're farmers wouldn't be artificially breeding these animals into existence if they weren't making a profit off of them. The only reason they're doing it is to meet meat demand because we pay for their products. That's how capitalism works.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. So,
All
all
right,
right,
I'll let
is that
somebody
your
else
only
talk
question
on it.
then? Or?
Nah, I'm good. Have a good day, bro.
All right, yeah, you have a good one, man. Peace. All right. Let's see who else we got. Add guests. I'll just go in order. So I'll do the Shroomster next. Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Um,
what's up?
so I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
All right.
I think that you could get your point across more if you talked more slow and didn't raise your voice or try and argue with people.
Well,
I know
that's the whole point of my lives, right? Is to argue because people think there's arguments against veganism because like people like that vegan teacher kind of make a joke out of veganism, so people like relate veganism to like that vegan teacher, like, oh, it's just a joke. All these people are crazy,
yeah,
but they don't realize there's actually good arguments behind it, and that's what
I
I'm trying
get
to do.
that.
I'm trying to get those
I
arguments
get
out there.
that. But the point of my argument, I think it's called an argument, um, is that people aren't really taking you seriously because the tone of your voice and how
I
fast
mean,
you're
I, I
talking.
don't I don't think people are taking me seriously because they want to continue to eat these products and not feel guilty. I mean, I make strong arguments that people can't deny or debunk. I'm not trying to be a dick, but if you don't have an argument against veganism, I'm going to have to go to the next person. I've turned hundreds of
So
people vegan. I have people who
hold
message me
on,
every day saying they go vegan because of me.
hold on. So, do you want a free roast beef sandwich? I'm at work right now and I can get you one.
Yeah, if it's a vegan roast beef sandwich.
No, I'm at Arby's.
Actually, no. Actually, I think actually I'm good on the roast beef sandwich. I was just at your mom's house earlier, so I had one. I appreciate it though.
Mwah.
All right, next. Um, we'll do Alexis Brenner, I think. Or no, oops, I accidentally connected to a different person. Oh, I'll get her next. Hello?
How you doing?
Hey, what's up? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you really vegan?
Yeah, I've been vegan for like 6 years.
Uh, I like
Do you think I'm
meat.
like trolling or what?
I said
Huh?
I like meat. I said I like
Oh yeah,
meat.
a
Yeah,
lot of people like meat. I
yeah.
like meat too, actually, but I just prefer I like animals more than I like meat. I like not abusing animals more than I do the taste of meat. I actually
So what do
love
you
meat.
think? So what do you think of people of dispatching their own animals though?
Just doing what to their own animals?
Uh, Dispatching their own animals like on a
You
farm?
mean you mean killing their own animals?
Yes, for
Yeah,
food.
I don't think that makes it any better. I don't think an animal cares who kills it. Like I don't care who's slitting my throat. I just don't want my throat slit. And I think animals also just don't want their throat slit. I don't think they care if they're getting their throat slit by people who grow like harvest them or if they're sent to a slaughterhouse to have their throat slit. I think they just don't want to die.
Okay, well that's not right. You said, but okay. By the way,
What's
m-
up?
meat.
Yep. Good one. Good one. You guys come in such strong arguments, such strong argumentation. It's impressive, but you know it's TikTok. What can you expect? So edgy, a bunch of edge lords on here. What's up?
Hey. Okay.
Hey.
So I feel like the last couple more arguments at all. No,
but they're just trolling, but I expect it. It's TikTok. What can you...
Yeah. Well, I'm an animal science major here at K-State, and so I'm studying this stuff. I've been studying it for 3.5 years, and some of the things that you're talking about, I don't agree with because of the things that I've learned. So one of them is talked about a lot of the animal diseases being zoonotic, and
yep.
So there's actually only like 6% of the diseases, even probably a lower percent in cattle that are zoonotic. Some of those being anaplasmosis. I was trying to look at
75% of emerging disease is zoonotic. That's just like a fact. Like that's peer-reviewed research. I have it pinned on my page. I don't think you can argue with that.
Well, another thing is those aren't transmitted to a human unless some of them are close contact, but other ones are even more than that. You're not going to get them from simply eating an animal product because the enzymes
No, you don't get it. No, you're right. You don't get them from eating animal products. It's generally the farmers that are farming these animals that somehow they have from the animals to the human. And like I said, 75% of emerging disease is zoonotic. And the most likely way this happens is through animal agriculture. And this is proven by peer-reviewed research. Like there's no arguing with this. This is studied. Like that's peer-reviewed research. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I agree. And I know some of them are zoonotic. I don't agree that it's that high of a percentage. But another thing that I wanted to kind of talk to you about is the way that you're talking about animals being euthanized. You're saying slitting their throat. And that is not the correct way that animals are euthanized. They're euthanized.
They absolutely do.
What?
You're telling me they don't slit their throat to drain the blood out?
That's after they're euthanized.
So they do slit their throats then.
Once their heart stops.
Yeah, so they do slit their throats. So that is true. And I don't care how an animal is killed. It's the fact that it is killed. Why are we killing these animals when we don't need to? Do you think these animals want to be killed? Why are we killing them when we have no justification to do so? We can be perfectly healthy on a vegan diet, as stated by the largest group of nutrition experts in the entire world. It's better for the environment to be vegan, and these animals want to live. They don't want to die. So why are we killing them when we don't need to?
Okay, so two things that I have for that is one, there are some vitamins that are key in meat diets that you can't get from a vegan diet. One of those vitamins, a huge one talked about, is vitamin B12. And then
B12,
also there's a large percent. What?
Sauerkraut, nutritional yeast, fortified plant milks, fortified cereals, certain mushrooms, certain seaweeds, kombucha, and multivitamins all can get you B12 on a vegan diet. And to say that there's nutritional adequacy missing from a vegan diet is to disagree with the largest group of nutrition experts in the entire world who state that a vegan diet is healthy at all stages of life and nutritionally adequate. So, I mean, it's just to disagree with scientific consensus.
I'm saying it's not as much available, I guess I should say. I know you listed off quite a few things, but it's not as dense as a vitamin as it is in a meat product.
I'm sorry. What's that?
I don't remember. But one last thing I wanted to talk about is so as I was going through class, we learned about 90% of our usable land on this earth. A lot of that is cellulose and hemicellulose, and we can't support our diets by eating that stuff. We just don't have the right systems to convert that into food and live off of just that. Ruminants, on the other hand, cattle, sheep, goat, so on, they are able to convert that feed to meat. So we're able to use a lot of the unusable land on the earth and convert that into a product that people can eat.
Yeah, what you're saying is 86. So what you're saying is the fact that 86% of the land is unviable for crops, basically, right?
there is a large percent that
Yeah, well,
crops wouldn't be
here's the
able to grow
thing.
because of the
Here's the
soils.
thing: is we're already growing enough crops to feed us. The fact that we're just wasting a lot of them feeding animals. According to peer-reviewed research, it takes 6 kilograms of crops to make 1 kilogram of meat on average. According to the United Nations, it takes 10 pounds of crops to make 1 pound of meat on average. So 6 to 10 times more crops are required in order to feed the animals that we eat. We're already growing more than enough crops to feed our population. We're just wasting them, feeding them to the livestock that we eat. This is why the largest meta-analysis to date on the relationship between food and our environment concludes if we were to switch to a vegan diet, we would reduce global farmland by 75% because we wouldn't be growing mass amounts of crops to feed livestock. This is why peer-reviewed research shows if America alone were to switch to a plant-based food system, we'd be able to feed over twice our current population. This is why the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change conclude if we were to switch to a vegan diet, we'd be able to feed 10 billion people using less land because we're already growing more than enough crops. We're just feeding.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Do you know what percent of people in the United States alone are farmers?
I have no idea. I'd guess probably 2%, 2 to 3%.
Less than 2%. There is roughly 1% of the United States that farms. Do you
Okay.
know how much land? Okay, not every farmer is going to have millions and millions of acres. There
No.
are people who have 100 acres, and there are maybe people who have 1,000 acres.
Yep.
But that small of a percentage cannot feed the world on grain alone. That is why we supply our crop to our cattle, to our sheep, to our goats, whatever else, so that they can convert that feed and we can give meat products to other people.
So I don't think you're listening. We're growing more crops than we have to right now. Farmers have to do more work and grow more crops currently because we eat animals, because we have to grow mass amounts of crops to then feed them to livestock, to waste 6 times the amount of crops to make 1 pound of meat. 6 kilograms of crops to make 1 pound of meat. One kilogram of meat. So 6 times more crops are required. We are currently growing more than enough crops. We're just feeding them to livestock. So farmers have to, less than 2% of farmers are having to do more work because we eat animals, because now we have to grow mass amounts of crops to feed animals, which once again is why the largest meta-analysis to date on the relationship between food and our environment concludes we would reduce global farmland by 75% on a vegan diet, because we wouldn't be having to grow this mass amounts of crops to then feed livestock, take care of the livestock, water the livestock, clear land for the livestock, clear land for the crops we're growing the livestock for. I mean, it's such an inefficient method, and it's just proven by the highest forms of evidence available to us. There's no arguing this.
Okay, so you think if we stopped feeding the animals the crops that we're growing, we'd have more than enough to supply the whole entire world?
I don't think this. I know this because it's proven through peer-reviewed research. There's peer-reviewed research pinned on my page that shows if America were to switch to a plant-based food system, we'd be able to feed over twice our current population. And I already stated this earlier, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, with over 100 scientists from over 50 different countries, after analyzing all currently available evidence and data, conclude that we'd be able to feed 10 billion people on a vegan diet using less land.
So what kind
So
of
it's not that I
crops do you
think, it's
think?
that I know. This is what the research shows. It's not my opinion.
Okay, well, a lot of the crops that we do grow are to feed our animals. Those crops
Yeah.
aren't going to be
Yeah,
as
and we're using
abundant
the
as
same
when
amount.
we're converting them to a vegan diet.
And we're using, yeah, exactly. And those crops that we're growing to feed animals, we could otherwise be growing and crops for humans, because the same amount of land, resources, and labor and water, all these things go into growing these crops to feed animals, which we could instead put towards growing crops to feeding humans. It makes no sense.
Have you ever worked alongside a farmer? I
Yeah,
know
I
you
work
talked
on a
about
dairy
working
farm.
on a dairy farm, but I'm talking like crops,
Yeah, no, not crops, no.
not
But
crops.
do you
Okay.
like have an argument for what we're doing for animals? Because you still haven't given one. Like, we're needlessly slitting throats, gassing pigs alive, and snapping necks for no justifiable reason. Like, I have yet to hear an argument for what we're doing.
Yeah, so my argument was we euthanize the animals in a humane
Kill them.
way, unlike you're making it sound.
We
There
kill them.
are
There is no
vitamins
humane
and
way to kill
nutrients.
something that doesn't want to die. There is no humane
You
way to kill something that doesn't want to die. And this is entailed by the definition of humane. The definition of humane is to show compassion and benevolence. You cannot show
okay?
compassion and benevolence killing something that doesn't want to die. So by definition, you are incorrect. You're wrong by definition.
Can I talk for a second, please?
Yep. I'm just
You
saying.
asked me what my
You're saying
arguments
things that are
were.
definitely incorrect.
You asked me what my arguments were, and I was trying to list them off.
All
There
right,
are
well,
key nutrients and vitamins that you can't get from a vegan diet. And that's proven. You can search that up. There are
you're wrong. We've already went over this. You already tried to name the
okay,
nutrients.
by
And I've
saying
already
you're
given you
wrong and
sources which you can get
overtalking
these
me does
nutrients
not
from.
make you right.
And I've already cited the largest group of nutrition experts in the entire world who state in a peer-reviewed statement, meaning it's also reviewed by their scientific peers, that the vegan diet is both healthy and nutritionally adequate for everybody at all stages of life. So to say otherwise is to disagree with scientific consensus. Do you not believe in science? Do you just disagree with scientific consensus? Do you think that you know more than the world's largest group of nutrition experts who went to school specifically for nutrition for multiple years and their job is nutrition? Do you think that you know more than them?
I'm not saying that, but what I do want to say
Okay,
is
well, you
there's a
are
lot
saying
of
that because you're
articles.
saying
Can
that you
I
can't be
please
healthy
talk?
and nutritionally adequate on a vegan diet. So you quite literally are
Okay,
saying
can
that.
I please talk though?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of sources that are saying, oh, this is the best source. This is the best source. That's just how the internet is these days. It's really biased. I'm not saying
It's not
it's
the
not a
internet. It's the
reliable
largest group of
source.
nutrition experts in the world.
I'm
It's
not
not the
saying
internet.
it's not a reliable source, but I don't think
It's
it's
the
the
most
number one
reliable source. It's
source.
the largest group of nutrition experts.
Okay, but
It's
you're
not just
trying to
some
tell
random
me that.
article on Facebook. It is the largest group of nutrition experts in a peer-reviewed statement in the entire world. This is not
Okay.
just some random Facebook meeting.
Yeah, and I didn't say it was. But I go to school to study animal science. I learn these things. I know the percent of zoonotic diseases. I know what we can get supplied off of a meat diet. I know how cattle are treated, how other animals are treated. I know how they're
They're all killed.
euthanized. I know about
Killed.
the USDA humane. Okay, if you're just
Well, you
gonna
say
keep
euthanize
talking
because you don't
over
want to
me,
say killed. Because we make euphemisms for words to make it sound better, right? Like you don't want to say kill. You don't want to
no,
say kill
you're
animals.
trying to
You
make
want to
it
say
sound
we
worse.
harvest them. We euthanize them. But what we're doing is ending their life so
This
that we
dude
can
hates
eat them.
women,
You don't.
literally.
So you have an
Okay,
argument for why we're doing this.
I've told you multiple arguments, and you keep
And I've
talking over me, so
debunked
I'm probably
every
gonna
single
hop
one.
off. But you're
Yeah, I
not
would
gonna
too,
get
because
people to believe
you
you
failed to make
by.
an argument. I would also
You're
hop
not
off
gonna
because
get people to believe you or
I
inspire
don't
people by
care what you
yelling at
think.
other
I want an
people.
argument with veganism, and you're failing to give me one. So we're gonna go to the
I
next
gave
person.
you one.
No, I debunked it multiple times. If
You're
you have
pathetic.
one, give it to me. I won't even kick you yet. If you have one, give it to me. I'm listening. What is it?
Okay, you say that, and every time I talk, I'm talked over, and that's very disrespectful, and I'm tired of that. And you're
No,
not
I don't
gonna.
talk over you. I respond to your argument and debunk it. And you just don't like that I haven't answered what you're saying.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, this is completely pointless because you don't have an argument. Yep. All fine. All right. Let's see what's. Actually, it's 12:33. I'm gonna get off. Yeah, there is no argument for what we're doing to animals, as you can see. We're needlessly abusing, exploiting, and slaughtering trillions of animals every year. It's worse for our environment. It's worse for our health. It's worse for global pandemics. It's obviously worse for the animals. And all of you guys say you love animals while you simultaneously pay for what we're doing. Quit being hypocrites and go vegan.